What's happening, folks? Happy 4th. Welcome to the test lake. So it's early. In fact, we are right at about sunrise time, and we're going to get after a little bit of topwater. Now, being that today is the 4th of July, this here at the test lake, I'll give you a little background on it. It's a a small community lake here in Kansas City, and every year they've always done a fishing contest.
That's correct.
Right?
Yep.
So, but this year is the first year that they've done any sort of bass contest in a number of years. And it's a simple contest. It's a big bass contest. So naturally, since we fish here all the time, we're entered into this contest. So what we're going after today is a big one. We're going to be doing a bunch of different things that we don't normally do, like netting for each other. And so what we wanted to do today, for the purposes of being able to do a lure review, we're going to start early and throw some topwater. But what we have today are the Berkley Choppos. Specifically, these are the Berkley Choppo 120s. They might look very familiar to you. They look a lot like a whopper plopper. So while we're out here doing this big bass contest, we want to pose the question, is the Berkley Choppo good in its own right, or is it just a knockoff whopper plopper? So a little bit about these. It says, cast and retrieve around all types of shallow cover, can be used in calm to choppy conditions, and that's really all we get for a description on these. So we're going to tie these bad boys on and get out there and get into this big bass contest, see if we can put a big one in the boat for the 4th. And
bragging rights.
Yeah, bragging rights, I think, are at stake. Of course, at the end, give it a scorecard. Gosh, it's huge. You know what, though? It actually seems to run a little bit better than the whopper plopper. It seems like it. You know how like the whopper, like the main body of the whopper plopper will turn? Like it'll kind of roll over a little bit. And this one doesn't seem to have that problem. Definitely makes a lot of noise. I mean, it's loud. He's not very big, but get him anyway. Let's keep her.
Not measure? Measure.
Ooh, I ain't bleeding. Yes. He is bleeding a little bit. I'm going to put him back. We'll get bigger. He's bigger. He's bigger. He's barely hooked, man. Yeah, definitely.
All right. 18.
All right.
That is a keep.
So for a big bass contest, every it's just one fish. Longest, actually it's just length today, not so much weight, but every situation's a call situation. So if you catch any, so we've got our benchmark now at 18. We'll see if we can find something that's bigger than that. But the Choppo is actually pretty darn impressive at this point. Gosh, it's got a lot of good qualities about it. We'll get into that a little bit more later on, but it's got a lot of good qualities.
It's a rock. Like I said, I don't get as excited as I used to anymore. Of course. Yeah, maybe. There he goes.
Initial impressions with the Berkley Choppo. It's actually quite impressive. It's
quite loud.
Yeah, it's very, very loud. I think I honestly feel like it makes more noise in the water than the Whopper Plopper does. I think the tail on it, the spinning tail, is a little more pronounced on the Choppo than it is with the Whopper Plopper. But yeah, the other thing that I like about it is that it tends to run straight, whereas with the Whopper Plopper sometimes you'll get the body roll if you're going a little faster, but the Choppo doesn't do that. It holds up really well. I mentioned earlier, I don't know if I put it in the footage or not, but I did mention earlier that it doesn't have the glossy finish that the Whopper Plopper does, but that's okay. Yeah, so far I'm pretty darn pleased with this. It's definitely a heavy lure. It doesn't take a whole lot to get a full send on it when you're doing a cast, but yeah, it's pretty darn awesome at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, it's great. I haven't caught anything. It's a good lure. I know it'll start picking up here probably for me, hopefully in a little bit. But like you said, it's got the dull color on there, but fish don't seem to really care.
Yeah,
I think they just really care about the noise.
I don't think they care if it's glossy or not. But yeah, as far as noise though, man,
sounds like a motor out here. But
yeah,
they're loving it so far, and I think it's only going to get better. Honestly, it's equally performance-wise as impressive as the Whopper Plopper, if not even more, at least in my opinion. So we'll see.
Yep, absolutely. All right, back to it. We got to see if we can catch a bigger fish than 18.
Are we doubled? Hey, my first one on this. All right. DT. This lure's terrible. Yeah. Just as I said, it was terrible. Let's see. Yeah. So that'd be big. That'd be a good one.
Oh, God. Oh, wait, he came back. Yeah.
Fatty.
Where's my hook?
Reach down there. There it is.
14. All right, scorecard time with the Berkley Choppo 120. Category 1 is price. Is it priced well in comparison to other products of similar nature and purpose? So the other product of similar nature and purpose is this. This is the River to Sea Whopper Plopper, right? So the Choppo, the 120 Choppo I picked up at Bass Pro Shop, it was $9.99 versus the $12.99 of the River to Sea Whopper Plopper. I'm actually going to go ahead and call that above average and give that a 4 because it is priced extremely well in comparison to the Whopper Plopper, which would be its closest competitor.
Yeah, I'll follow suit on that. I mean, for obvious reasons. So, yeah, not much to add. Let's go with 4.
All right. Category 2 is function. Did it perform the way that it was supposed to perform? Honestly, I was taken back by its performance, its function. I was expecting it to be a lot like a whopper plopper, and it is, but it's like a whopper plopper on steroids. Just because the tail spins and it creates so much action, and it's just so loud that it can't help but get a fish's attention. In fact, you can see here on the two tails. Now, of course, this one is, though the whopper plopper is smaller than the Choppo, but the two tails, this one is more pronounced than that of the whopper plopper, right? So this one makes a harder splash than the whopper plopper does. Yeah, I mean, its function, it was incredible. The other thing is too, the front portion of the body, this part right here, a lot of times when you're reeling in the whopper plopper at a steady speed, the top part of the body wants to roll, but the tail will still splash, you know. This didn't do that. It stayed planted. I mean, it would roll from one side to the other, but it didn't, you know, it didn't cause any issues. It didn't roll completely over like it did with the whopper plopper. So on its function, it was stellar to me. I thought it was just incredible. So I'm actually going to go with a 5 on its function.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go with a 4 on that one. So, I mean, personally, I think it reeled in better than the whopper plopper, but mine still, for whatever reason, maybe it was user error, still kind of tilted on its side. I'm probably being a little too nitpicky here, but for that reason, I will go with the 4. I won't go with the perfect 5, but I mean, for all intents and purposes, it was great. I mean, it sounded like you said, like a, I don't know.
It sounds like a small outboard motor
coming
or
in.
something.
Yeah, it was something, but
it's loud.
Yeah, and like you said, obviously you got the fish's attention, and you know, it's good for bass. But I was telling him as well, I think this could be used for you know, other big game fish, northern pikes, muskies. I think this would be a great lure for that, honestly, especially if you live in the northern states.
Yeah. Next up is its usability. How easy is the product to use? I think it's as easy as the whopper plopper. You can run start and stop motions. You can pop it. You can just burn it across the water. I was doing kind of a slower retrieve, just kind of letting that tail hit the water as hard as it could and drum up as much noise as it could. So yeah, it was. I don't think it was any harder or any easier to use than the whopper plopper. So in that category, I'll go average on that and just give it a 3.
Okay, I'll go with a 4 on that one, actually. I didn't catch many fish on it, but I mean, I thought it was easy to use. Personally, I love the whopper plopper. I mean, you can see our previous video on that and how well that performed, but I just love the way that this functioned, just everything. The way it's easy to reel in, the way it looked when it reeled in. I mean, just everything about it was just great. Maybe not 100% or stellar, but still above average in my opinion, so that's why I'm going with the 4.
Yep. Next up is its durability. Did it hold up during the test? So we caught quite a few fish with it, or I caught quite a few fish.
Hey, shut up, man.
But we did catch quite a few fish with it, and yeah, it seemed to have held up pretty well. Like I said, it doesn't have a glossy finish like the whopper plopper does. The whopper plopper is, you know, pretty darn bright. Once this one gets wet, you know, once it's been in the water for a little bit, it kind of takes on a glossy finish. I guess that stands to reason because it's wet. But yeah, I do see a few chips on it, a couple scratches. I mean, it still looks fine. I mean, it's not. It hasn't been beat up to the point that it's unusable. So yeah, I mean, as far as its durability is concerned, I would say it's on par with the whopper plopper. You know, I don't think it's any better or worse than that of the whopper plopper. So again, I'm going average on that. Just call it a 3.
Yeah, I'll go 3 with that one. This is Brandon's whopper plopper, and you can see, I mean, obviously this has probably been used a little bit more than the other one, but it's got a lot of paint chipped off on there and stuff like that. But I think this one over time will probably keep the same color, the same paint on there for, I don't know, hopefully a couple years.
Maybe.
If we can use it that long, we'll see. Yeah. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, again, it's average for that, so yeah, I'll go with the 3.
Okay. Last but not least is the effectiveness of the Choppo. I think that part of its appeal to me is that you know, any topwater lure really is designed to call up a fish. You know, any topwater lure is designed to cause commotion in the water, and I think this one most definitely does that. Like I said, it sounds a little bit like a small outboard motor, I guess, when you're running it across the water. But Yeah, I mean, as far as its effectiveness, I think it does a really good job of calling in fish. I've had a fish, it seemed like about every other cast, at least smack at it. Obviously, I didn't catch a fish every other cast, but
Not even close.
But yeah, I mean, I think it did that exceptionally well. I don't know that it blew my mind as far as its effectiveness, but I do think that it's, again, right there with the Whopper Plopper as far as its overall effectiveness. So I'm going to give that an average as well and call it a 3.
Okay. I'm going to go with a 4 on that one, and the only reason why is because the amount of noise it produces, I think you can use more effectively in choppy water. I feel like with the Whopper Plopper, it has to be steady to, mostly calm conditions. But like it says on the package for the Berkley there, it will go pretty darn well in choppy water. So for that reason alone, I'm going to go with a little bit above average, so I'll go with a 4.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. All right, guys, so that takes care of the scoring for the Berkley Choppo. This is the 120 model. So yeah, what we do from here is we take our 2 scores, add them together, and of course take the average of that, and that gives us our official score. So I'm actually awarding 16 out of 25 possible points to the Berkley Choppo 120. What about you?
I got 19.
So that gives us an official score then of 17.5 out of 25 possible points to the Berkley Choppo. This is actually a very impressive lure, particularly in the category of price. If you're wanting to get into the spinning tail topwater lures, I would definitely suggest go with the Choppo. It's better priced, and you're not losing anything
Definitely.
that you would otherwise get from the Whopper Plopper. So yeah, really, really good lure. I'm extremely pleased with it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for stopping by to the test lake with us. Make sure to click like on this video for us. Let us know that you're here. Also, hit subscribe down below. Definitely appreciate your support on that.
Anything that you guys want us to review in the future, please let us know in the comment section below.
Yep, we do check the comments. We read the comments, good, bad, or otherwise. And, some of them hurt our feelings. So... But yeah, we do read the comments, so make sure that you guys are commenting. We try to respond. Sometimes it takes us a little while to respond to those, but we'll let you know. Somebody mentioned a giveaway on our one of our previous videos there. We do plan on doing a giveaway once we reach the 1,000 subscriber mark. But yeah, we do have that planned. Also, what else? A couple of you guys have mentioned some things, and we do have a list of things that we're keeping here. We're just trying to get through as far as items that we're reviewing and such. So be patient. Keep watching. I'm sure it'll show up eventually. Guys, thanks again so much for stopping by. We're the KC Bass Guys. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Todd.
Y'all have a good one.